Just once in the last 50 years has Colorado elected a Republican as governor. There are still plenty of GOP candidates this year. There's more than 20 of them.
Tonight, 4 of the potential Republican nominees debated in Weld County. They include a state senator who is not as far right as the MAGA broadcaster who wants elected Democrats to be hung in public.
Our Marshall Zellinger is back from that debate in Fort Lupton. And Marshall, let's start off with MAGA podcaster Joe Oltmann. He has a plan for how Republicans can suddenly win a race in Colorado that they have only elected one candidate to in 50 years.
Right, you want a plan from a candidate. His plan parrots President Trump's view of elections in this country. Several times at the debate tonight, Joe Oltmann called 2020's election stolen. He painted a picture of Colorado being a red state simply blocked by an illegitimate voting system.
And I think one of the issues that we have to look at is, and you're not going to like this question, actually 9 News is probably going to really love it, and that is we got to get rid of the machines and the mail-in ballots and get to a place where we have secure elections.
Oltmann also defended his continued call for top Jewish elected Democrats in the state to be executed for treason. State Senator Barb Kirkmeyer, who as a state lawmaker for the last 6 years seemed to have the best grasp of practical actions a governor can do in office, she called herself the credible candidate, but she was also part of an attempt to have Northern Colorado secede from the state in 2014.
I listened to my constituents. I put it on the ballot. They voted. They voted no, not to pursue succeeding, and so we did not. That's exactly what happened. But I think listening to your constituents, standing up for your constituents is what a leader does and what a good elected official does, and I would continue to do that again.
Follow-up question. How did you vote on it?
How did I vote on it? I voted for it.
Teller County Sheriff Jason Meixel focused on restraints that law enforcement have under Democratic leadership, limited cooperation with federal agents, and personal liability for officers who act outside of what's expected of law enforcement. As governor, he would want to roll those policies back.
Any of the laws that actually go after law enforcement officers in this state, those have to be done so that we can love our law enforcement officers again, allow them to go back on the streets and take politics out of their jobs to actually do their jobs.
The 4th candidate debating tonight, Josh Griffin. He briefly ran for Congress in El Paso County in 2024. He's an Army veteran who disagrees with the president moving Space Command from Colorado Springs.
He made it seem very petty, and one thing I hate about that is that for all those who are on the fence on President Trump, when he does things like that, it really makes it hard to be a Republican and say, he's still doing the right thing.
There were some rapid-fire questions. Griffin was a no when asked if he would welcome Trump to campaign with him. Only Oltmann was the absolute yes. Kyle and Alex, there were 2 notable absences from the debate. Colorado Springs Ministry Leader Victor Marks, who has the most campaign money, he declined the debate, as did State Representative Scott Bottoms.
You know, it's interesting, Marshall, it's not unusual for leaders in a race to try to duck debates, right? It can only kind of go wrong for them. But interesting that that Marks would not want to debate because he's also kind of an unknown. Like he's got a pile of cash, but not many people know him.
But when you have that much money, you can get on air with ads and let everybody know who you are. I will say I noticed in this debate there was a chance for everybody to ask each other a question. Some of the candidates refused. Barb Kirkmeyer chose Josh Griffin as the person she wanted to ask her question to. And we saw that strategy in the Denver mayor's race where you had someone who perceived themselves as the front runner go after perhaps someone who's almost like, okay, thanks for being in the race. And like, that's your way of kind of avoiding some trouble in a debate. Marks just avoided the debate altogether.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kirkmeyer was the presumptive front runner until, Marks kind of ran her over with a truckload of MAGA cash. But we'll see how that works out. All right, Marshall Zellinger, thank you.